Been out here consistently for 11 years in a row now. First of all, is that you take a sense of pride in that streak you got going? And also, how tough is that? How tough is it to grind it out week in, week out, contend in majors, pick up a couple wins over more than a decade now?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that long. It's crazy how fast it goes by. I still feel like I'm a relatively young guy out here, and then I play with a guy like Jordan Spieth or Brooks Koepka or somebody like that, and all of a sudden, man, I'm really old. I've gotten old quick out here. So, it's just, I don't look at it as a decade out here. I look at it as each year I'm trying to get better. Trying to find some way to improve, and I still love the game. I'm still passionate about it. I still have fun coming out here and doing this. I don't know what else I'd be doing for a living if I wasn't doing this. So it's still a kind of a new journey every year, even though I kind of know the golf courses now, know my schedule, know kind of where I like to play. It's still fun for me to come out here and try to compete, and it's getting tougher. As you get older out here, there's always a new crop of young kids coming out that are really, really good players and pushing everybody else out here to kind of raise their game and get better. So that's kind of the enjoyment of the process, is knowing there's always a new, fresh group of guys coming out here ready to beat your brains in. So you got to make sure you're still practicing, still loving it, and still putting the time in to be able to compete.
We always hear about the list, the best player never to win a major. Sergio took his name off that list at the Masters. Ricky seems to be talked about there a lot. Matt Kuchar, Lee Westwood. First question. Do you belong on that list, Brandt?
I don't. I mean, to me, my career will not be defined if I win a major or not. So I'm not too terribly worried about that list. I feel like all those guys on that list are great players. They have great careers. I think the one thing that people kind of put too much weight on majors, they're 4 weeks a year. It's really, really hard to have your game peak at those just 4 weeks. I'm more into wins. Can you win on tour? Do you do it a lot? That's what you're going to be remembered for out here, is winning. For me as a player, I have a different view of it than most people on the outside looking in, I guess. I realize how hard it is just to win out here, let alone winning one of the 4 weeks a year. So I think the biggest thing I wanted to be on that I accomplished was being on a winning Ryder Cup team, which we did last year. I had more importance on that, realizing, okay, we haven't done it for a long time, such a special thing to be on that. I would have probably taken that over winning a major. So I don't think I really don't. I've had long, hard thoughts about it. I used to be obsessed with it. And I've kind of let it go, saying, if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, I've still had a great career. I still plan on winning a lot more out here, and so I'm not too concerned with it.
You mentioned the Ryder Cup. Can you pinpoint one thing that was so special about that team, that group of guys? We know the golf you played. You guys played so well on the golf course, but was there something about this group that made them unique? Yeah,
definitely. I think it was part of it was the leadership, having Davis, having Tiger, Phil. I consider Phil a captain, even though he's a player. I mean, he was an assistant captain on that team. Jim Furyk, Tom Lehman, Steve Stricker, all these guys, Bubba Watson, the way that they all bought in and kind of walked into a room, and everybody left their ego at the door and said, you know what, we're all in about winning this. How do we do it? How do we come together as 12 guys in this group and leave our egos outside and say, can we do this as a team? And that was probably the most special thing about that week. It was how close we all got as a team, how bonded we were, how much time we spent with each other, talking about what we were going to do, how we were going to do it. That's very rare, I think, in team sports, is to have a bunch of guys. And you hear coaches talk about this all the time in other sports about no egos in the locker rooms and team first attitude. And I'm not saying we haven't had that before. I think we have, but I think this last one was taken to a new level. Talking about how much time we spent talking to each other before the Ryder Cup. There was tons of nerves and tons of pressure on us, and we realized that, but we all embraced it, and we all kind of talked about it and kind of overcame it as a team together.